Hello, welcome in everybody. We are back. Thursday night football. Nathan, what's up? If you're in the chat, say hello. I think Steve is going to be coming on here at some point. And we'll see what we get into with him. I think him and I are going to do a DFS head-to-head this week. So we'll have a little fun with that. I kind of want to talk. I don't know. We'll see what we get into with him. I'm sure he'll talk a little Blue Jays as well. We've got MLB still going firmly there with the Brewers and Dodgers and Blue Jays and Mariners. Both those teams play tonight in addition to Thursday night football and some college football too. I didn't take anything for these college games tonight. ECU though is that's a good game. ECU Tulsa is a fun game. High total there, 54.5 points. I think ECU's team is pretty good, so not the worst Thursday game you could have. But we'll talk college football tomorrow on the stream. I'll kind of run through everything. Like a lot of underdogs again this week, I think, in the college streets. Jim, what's up? True Love. I feel like last year's MLB playoffs were more exciting. Yeah. I mean, I would say it's pretty similar. So last year, like Cleveland went on that crazy run. I would say like Toronto is the same level because I have comped this Blue Jays team to the Guardians a number of times. The Blue Jays are literally the Guardians. They just have more power in their lineup. They put the ball in play. They have good pitching. That's just what they do. But it'd be like if you had a couple more home run hitters in addition to Jose Ramirez on the Guardians. They're a very, very similar team. If you know anything about the Blue Jays, Mark Shapiro kind of running things over there. He used to work for the Guardians. Like very, very similar constructs. And then you have the Mariners. I mean, the Yankees were obviously in the World Series last year, so that drummed up some more drama for some people. The Dodgers have kind of caught fire, though. So we'll see what the Brewers can do tonight. But, yeah, I guess I would agree a little bit maybe. I kind of agree. There hasn't been like that big like drama moment, I guess. The highlight for me of the playoffs thus far in the MLB was the Seattle-Detroit 15 inning game or whatever. That was awesome. But yeah, I kind of agree, I guess. Before Steve jumps in, we'll talk a little Thursday night. Pittsburgh Bengals. I cannot get a read on a side of this game. This is the classic spot that Mike Tomlin would lose, in my opinion. And once again, if you guys in the chat want to disagree with me, feel free. I don't think this Pittsburgh Steelers team is any good. I think this is the same song and dance we see every single year from the Steelers. They come out of the gates like this. They win a bunch of games that they shouldn't win, and then they fade as the season goes on. They'll get in the playoffs. They will play the Bills, the Chiefs, whoever in the playoffs, and they will get absolutely smoked. I don't think it's any different this year. I think this is the same. They've swapped out quarterbacks. They've got Aaron Rodgers in there. It doesn't matter. This is the same team. They've been outgained in yards per play in basically every game they've played this year, except for last week against Cleveland. I don't, tough to put any stock into that because we've been talking about that since the summer, that the Steelers were off a bye week at home. Browns coming back from London. Add in that the Browns also had a rookie quarterback in. That doesn't do much for me. The Browns also have not won in Pittsburgh. I've said this on stream a number of times. They have not won in Pittsburgh. I don't even know if they've done it in my lifetime. And if they have, it was like when I was like 4 years old. So, that game is not surprising to me. But I don't think the Steelers are very good. So this would be like a classic spot that they could lose. Mike Tomlin, someone can correct me if I'm wrong. I don't think he's ever won a road divisional Thursday night game. And if he has, it was quite some time ago. But on the opposite side of it, the Bengals are not good. Their defense is terrible, and they have no Trey Hendrickson tonight. So, I just can't get a read. Typically, I'd be fading the Steelers here, but no Trey Hendrickson. I don't know, man. I don't know. I don't know what to do with the side of this game. So I'm going to take a total, actually. I like the over in this game. I think the Bengals can score a little bit here with Flacco. And Joe Flacco stinks at this point of his career, but he's still an upgrade over Jake Browning, I think. He's just going to get the ball into the hands of T. Higgins and Jamar Chase, let them do their thing. Oh, Mitchell, shout out Mitchell also going to the fight. I meant to respond to you, Mitchell, but that is pretty sick. If you don't know, guys, Mitchell is going to the Jake Paul and Tank fight. What is it in Miami, Mitchell? That's pretty crazy. But yeah, so I think both teams can score a little bit tonight. Pittsburgh should be able to score with no Hendrickson. I mean, if you go back and watch the tape from the Browns game, they were basically playing 6 linemen to counteract Myles Garrett. They're not going to have to do that tonight with no Hendrickson. So maybe, they can get going a little bit. It's a big DK Metcalf spot, in my opinion. Bengals give up the most yards after the catch in the league, and it's not even close. And the Metcalf is 5th overall in the NFL right now in yards after the catch. And he's kind of like really ascended the last few weeks. No Calvin Austin. Really, really good spot for Metcalf, I think. And then on the opposite side, I think it's a good spot for T. Higgins, especially with the tight ends. Like, tight end room for the Bengals is really banged up. So I think they could lean on Higgins a little bit more, especially, just given what the potential game script could be. Me and 2 buddies, Ben paid for the tickets. Well, look, I'm happy for that. I'm glad that you're going. That sounds pretty fun. I'm gonna put Steve in here. Steve repping the Jays. I was waiting for it. I knew it was coming. Hopefully, what's your likelihood that they pull this out tonight and they even this up?
I honestly think it's pretty likely. I think that getting away from Toronto was a good thing. I was talking to a friend of mine this morning, and he said that Toronto is just like absolute bedlam right now. And for all those Canadian listeners, like I don't know if like it would be like the equivalent of like having the the Yankees, the size of the city of like New York, have the Yankees doing well, but then everyone is a fan. Whereas like I don't know if everyone's a fan in New York.
Yeah.
But in Toronto, like everyone is a fan. And then you take that and then you expand that to everyone in the country is a fan.
I know.
So
Yeah. I'm sure it's
the
crazy up there.
so the pressure is just like incredible. So I think them going to Seattle, good thing. Bigger ballpark. It's going to actually be harder for I think the Mariners to hit a whole bunch of home runs. It's going to force the Mariners, the 2015 Blue Jays.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So they got to hit home runs in their own ballpark, sitting on the ocean with the wind blowing in.
Yeah.
Shout out to Vladdy and Springer home runs though, like center field, straight into the wind. Like those would have been 500 feet in Toronto.
Yeah. Yeah. Those were 2 bombs.
So anyways, yeah, I think. And yet, last thing, just quickly to we got Mad Max on the mound tonight.
Yeah.
So he's 41 years old. He's aging. Hasn't pitched in 22 days. I think what was the quote I used this morning? He's going to rip the head off a chicken.
Yeah.
Like I think that he's going to just leave the mound bloody, like literally bleeding. And if I was a Mariner, I'd be a little terrified of that guy. Like when he gets all jacked up. So I'm excited to see. I think they can even it up. They're not going to win 3 in a row in Seattle, so they're going to lose one of these.
Yeah. I'm excited to watch. Definitely we'll have that on in addition to the football game. I do like Metcalf for a ladder, Jim. And Ryan, you said, what about Pittsburgh tight ends? Definitely a good spot. I've seen some love for them because the Bengals have really struggled against tight ends today. So I've seen a lot of people giving that out. If I were to pick one, probably be Jonnu, just because he's more of a yak guy, and like I just talked about, like since he's really struggled giving up yards after the catch, so I would probably pick Jonnu if I was going to bet on one of them. But I do think it's a good spot. I'm just riding with Metcalf. Dewan, you said you have Cincy upset. I could definitely see that. You have any thoughts on the football game tonight, Steve?
We can jump quickly to Survivor Pool, but I picked this as the second most likely or
Oh
second
boy.
most likely game to pick. Steelers over Bengals. So,
Oh boy.
why you think it's a trap?
I I think the Steelers will win, but there's definitely trap potential here. Just because I don't think Pittsburgh is actually good, and Mike Tomlin never won a road divisional playoff game on Thursday night, or not playoff
Yeah,
game, just has never won a road divisional Thursday night game.
yeah,
But no, I mean they should win. If Trey Hendrickson was playing, I would be worried, but they should they should be able to pull it out. But I don't think the
yeah,
Steelers are very good. I think they're fake good.
yeah. Well, we'll get into the power rankings after this because obviously they rank really high. They're hitting on all the darling analytics. But here's the thing: at the end of the day, um, the model is just based on data that we get in data feeds. So it doesn't really have an opinion. It doesn't take into account some of those nuances, like you mentioned. Doesn't take into account injuries, players coming back. It's the same as the power rankings. So, uh, however, I will say, and I know you mentioned you still think the Steelers are going to win. All they have to do is win by 1 point for people to keep their entry alive in Survivor.
Yeah.
Um, we went 5 for 6 last week, 4 for 6 the week before.
Yeah,
Um,
you've been on fire there with the Survivor picks for sure.
yeah, it's going well. It's actually throughout the season, it's gone really, really well this year. The two big upsets were the Cardinals game and then that Colts game.
Mhm.
Otherwise, everything else is essentially fallen in line with the occasional loss. If those two didn't, like we would be flying.
Yeah. Dewan, good luck to you. That is hard. I don't think I could do that. So I wish you luck.
That is a lot of work. 20 by
20,
hand.
20 hand-built DFS teams is crazy. All right, yeah. If you want to talk Survivor, we can, or power rankings, whatever you want to get into. There was something else we were gonna talk DFS too. We can save that for the end
Yep.
if we're gonna do that. But yeah, if you want to talk power rankings, we can.
See my screen. A little
Yeah,
power rankings.
yes.
So, I found it really quite interesting that, let me just double check this because I just want to make sure that, yeah, okay, it's normalized. Okay, because I had forgotten if it was normalized. Obviously, the Colts play 5 games, um, or 6 games, 5 wins. Some teams only played 5 games. So I just want to
Yeah,
make sure that it was set up to take that into consideration. I'm not going to lie, I was kind of surprised that the Colts were at the top.
they've been
Um,
rolling, man. They've been rolling. I think
uh,
it's funny that Shane Steichen was like on the hot seat last year, and then he gets like a serviceable quarterback that can just run his offense, and now like everybody's like people forget like we can't overstate this that just having a game manager quarterback that can run your offense is a big thing given
yeah.
the quarterbacks that get chances nowadays that used to not get them.
Yeah, it's like as long as he doesn't make a million mistakes, doesn't matter how good he looks. And it's funny because I always draw the parallel to goaltending in hockey. Like you want a goaltender that makes the saves that they should make, not the saves that they shouldn't make. And it's kind of the same in your quarterback. Um, like Anthony Richardson had looked great in some of those games. You know, injury prone, puts himself in vulnerable positions, and some games he looked terrible. Where Danny Dimes, he's looked pretty good, pretty safe, pretty safe.
Yeah, he's looked good. You really can't pick on his performance, I don't think. Um, so I don't know. Like when I look at this list, I don't really like disagree with anything other than Pittsburgh. Um, it's just like right before you hopped on, I was talking about it. Like this is the same Pittsburgh team that we've seen every year. Like they come out of the gate like this, they win a bunch of games that they shouldn't win, and then as the season goes on, they're gonna fall off a cliff. They'll sneak in the playoffs, and they're gonna get destroyed by Buffalo, Kansas, whoever they play of the top AFC teams are gonna destroy them in the playoffs. I mean, the one thing that sticks out with Pittsburgh, I mean, if you just look at yards per play, like Colts 6.2, Lions 5.9, Steelers are down at 5. They've actually been outgained in yards per play, I think, in every game they've played other than last week. And they've just been, I don't know, they've gotten lucky. The Jets outgained them in yards per play that week 1 game against the Jets, and they somehow still won. Like, I don't know. I don't believe that to be like a long-term sustainable thing. I mean, yeah, like look where they rank in yards per play. Like this is some of the worst teams in the league.
Yeah.
And I don't know if their defense is good enough to rely on that like they have been in the past. Like in the past, they've been able to rely on that, like when they had like Prime, Hayward, TJ Watt, and those guys. Like Watt has played a little bit better the last couple weeks, but this still is like far from a prime Mike Tomlin defense, in my opinion.
Toronto, they're middle of the pack, 24th.
Yeah.
Like they're still not really that good.
No, I don't think the team is very good, but
Yeah.
we'll see how it plays out.
So the interesting thing is like, where are they good? Like, why do they rank high? Because that's always the question. 'Cause it's not points per game.
Yeah.
It's not number of plays. It's not overall yards. Defensive turnovers per game is higher.
Yeah, they're creating turnovers, and if I had to guess, they probably don't turn it over very much. Yeah.
They don't turn it over very much. They don't take a lot of penalties.
Yep. Yeah, I was laughing because somebody commented. Well, I obviously made the TikTok yesterday about the updated power rankings, and someone commented like, "This has to be biased towards the offense," and I'm just like, "The Steelers are number 3 on this list. Like, they are not a
Yeah.
great offensive team. So clearly it's not."
Yeah. Yeah, no, it is definitely not biased towards the offense. That's for sure. And we tried to, when we built it, keep it equally balanced, um, because we know in the NFL, defense wins championships.
Yeah. What would stick out to you on this list as it currently
Uh,
stands
so the
after the
one
Colts?
we've talked about them like a million times. The Green Bay Packers, because this is a standard deviation, are below average.
Yeah, I thought that was interesting, and Denver was really far down there too in the bottom 5.
Yeah. Denver, I don't know, like someone was chirping me on Reddit there was some commentary around, oh, picking Denver this week, and I was like, well, probably wouldn't. Um, and it's funny because people have this perception of Denver that they should be really good. The stats don't say that. And then I don't know about you, but when I watch them, I also don't think they look very good. I thought they were going to be way better this
Yeah,
year. I thought they were going to be a top 10 team.
yeah. The defense is still good. The defense is not as good as we thought it was, but it's still very good. The offense has struck. Like Bo Nix has not played well
Yeah.
for the majority of the season, and that has really hurt them, I feel like.
22 points. They're down there. Well, they're not terrible, but
No, but
I should actually switch these columns.
yeah,
Turn the ball over a little bit more, too much.
yeah.
Way too many penalties.
That's crazy. Yeah. Yeah, them and the Giants both really high turnover. Is that a high? Can you filter by that? Like that
Yeah,
has to
they'd
be
be
like too
second, I
high.
think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Interesting.
And it's funny because this is always one of those ones that like my dad would talk about. Well, they take a lot of penalties. Like, old man, who cares? And then you start looking, you're like, oh, geez, like that is a lot of penalties. That's like the full length of the field a game.
Yeah.
And the teams that are better do not take a lot of penalties. They take a half field per game. So I
Yeah,
think
I
that
think, like, it definitely has to show, like, discipline too, like, I do think it's important.
yeah.
I would have to cross-check that, like, recent Super Bowl winners where they ranked in penalty yards, but I'm sure, like, they weren't just taking a ton of penalties.
Well, I think and this is anecdotal, but this has also been one of my theories. I think it is more meaningful for teams that get into the playoffs and deeper in the playoffs because if you're a team that takes more penalties, you inject yourself into the risk of one of those phantom calls or bad calls or whatever it is because you're putting yourself in a position to take more penalties, whether it is or it isn't. So that's why I'm always like back to your discipline comment, like teams that play really disciplined, um, they have a tendency not to have those controversial calls in the playoffs that we all remember.
Yeah, I agree with that.
That's anecdotal, but it's one of my theories.
Trying to find man, they're even odds. I really like this Falcons team, and they're pretty high up on this list. So I was trying to check. They're even odds currently to make the playoffs. I already have futures on them from back when I put all my futures in, so I don't know if I'll jump on it. But if you don't have any Falcons futures, I might hop in on them to make the playoffs. I like them a good bit. I mean, if you look at their division, I definitely think they're better than Carolina. I definitely think they're better than New Orleans. And Tampa has been great, but I mean, extremely banged up with all the injuries they're dealing with. And I think they're just a good team. So I kind of
So
like Atlanta.
I completely agree. Question for you though in Atlanta, why have they only scored 20 points per game?
Yeah, I'd have to go check. I know, like they played that one weird game against the Vikings where like I mean, they scored 22 points in that game. Um, and then if you remember after that, they went on the road. They had that weird, like, I think it was the week before their bye week. They went to Carolina and lost 30-0. Like they just had one of those games where nothing was working, I guess. So the fact that they scored 0 points for an entire game, it's probably like weighing down that average points quite a bit.
Yeah,
But other than that,
yeah,
I mean, it's been
it's an
22,
outlier.
34, 24. Like it's been solid other than they just had that one complete stinker. I
Yeah,
still
it was
don't
just
understand how they did that. I don't know. That was like the weirdest game of the season this far. But
well,
they
he
can
only
run the
threw
ball, man. They
5 completions. Oh,
yeah.
that's Kirk Cousins had
No, yeah,
5.
he came in he came in at one point. They can run the ball.
They can run the ball.
They can run the ball,
Uh,
and their defense has been really good, uh, like really good.
Caleb has Bijan in our office
Oh, and
pool,
yeah.
and his nickname, his team name is Bijan Mustard. It's a great.
I meant to check that.
What did I do
I'm still
here?
mad at Sarika beat me. I'm still
Oh,
mad about that.
I'm doing wrong. I think I beat you too, didn't I?
Yeah, I'm still in first place.
It's
I've
luck.
finally I have the most points scored, so I can't.
Yeah,
I actually have the second. I actually think you have like 3 more points than me. I think the last time I checked.
that's about right. So I did, transitioning into the conversation, I did want to take a look at top performers from last week. Um, Receiving yards, George Pickens, top of the list. So one of the things I wanted to ask you, that I think we both were high on CD at the start of the year. I've got CD in my FSGA expert league. I'm really looking forward to him coming back because it's a deep league and there's just not a lot of options left at wide receiver, and you need a game breaker if you're gonna. I need a game breaker because I can't replace him with like a 5-point guy. Do you think CD is going to come back, and how do you think it affects George? Because George's been playing pretty well.
Yeah. Before I answer that, do you have a Caden says half PPR Sutton, BTJ, Debo, Brees Hall. He has to sit one. That's a really tough, Caden. I mean, that's like all good options. Debo did not practice today. Assuming he gets back and practices tomorrow, you would have to play him because that's a 54.5 point total. It's like the highest total of the year so far in an NFL game. So you have to play him. BTJ starting to come back on. He had a good week last week. They played the Rams. Rams secondary has been pretty bad. Sutton, good spot against a man-heavy Giants team. Brees Hall, I mean, it might be Brees Hall, honestly, a bench out of those guys. I know like Garrett Wilson's out, so the receiving floor should be there, but I don't know. That one's tough. It's between Sutton and Brees. If you're winning on Sunday or something, or if like you're a big dog, I'd probably go Sutton for the ceiling, but I don't know. That one's tough. All those guys are in good spots. To come back to what you said, Steve, I don't think it'll affect things that much. Just because I have Pickens on all of my teams, and that was like coming into the season, like with me still loving CD, and I just think it's such a good setup for them. Their defense is so bad that they're going to be in even with CD back, like they're just going to be in shootouts every week. Like their defense is terrible. And you can see by that 54.5 point total, we haven't had anything. There's been like a couple 50s, I think this year. Like 54 is huge for an NFL game. And at least how it's been going the last few years, that should keep continuing. So even with CD back, he won't be doing, what he's been doing, but still a threat for, a wide receiver 2, wide receiver 3 every single week, just because they're going to throw the ball a bunch and their offense is so good. Dak is playing as good as he's ever played.
Yeah, I would agree. Yeah, it's funny. It's like take the pressure off, trade Parsons away. No expectations to win. Dak looks great.
Yeah. I mean, he's been really good. I don't Steve, we're still in first in the guillotine league in this that I can't make any moves in. We're hanging on
Really?
for yeah,
Nice.
and we're actually getting a little bit lucky because Jaden Blue, who I have on that I had drafted, he's like active now. Like he's not really getting a lot of work, but he's active because Miles Sanders is out. So there's like the upside that potentially if Javonte got hurt, we would have another running back.
Yeah.
And JJ McCarthy is back at practice. So that means if he can come back and be playing, we have a quarterback to put in when Dallas goes on their bye week in week 10. So
yeah,
we might be
be
able to
back by then,
survive.
sure.
If we can just survive week 10, because we have no Ferguson, no Pickens, no Dak. If we can survive that, I think we can win the league, even with making 0 moves if we stay healthy, because we're so far up on everyone. We have 100 more points than the next closest team.
Nice. He's going to be back by week 10.
Yeah, he should be back if anything next week, but
yeah, just don't want him to be re-injured.
Correct. Yes, we just need him that 1 week.
That would be a dramatic pod. That would be a dramatic stream.
If I would have if I would have just known the rules, we would be dominating this league. It wouldn't even be a factor.
Remember when we were talking? It's funny because we were talking about bankroll management that one day, and you're like, I know that Travis is going after this guy, so I'm going to and I've got more dollars than him.
Yeah.
And it's it's the whole. It's like normally that happens at the end of the year, where you're like, I have to get this. Someone's hurt. I've got to get this replacement level player to win, and blah blah blah, and so you use your whole bankroll. So I just think it's kind of funny that we didn't know the rules, had that whole conversation, thought we were being strategic, and then to find out that it was a huge mistake.
Yeah, we were making a big mistake. I will say though, Travis did not know the rules either because I talked to him. And he basically was like, "Are you putting all your money on Taylor? Because if you're not, I am." And I was like, "Yeah, like I have more money than you." So
that would be master class chess if he.
That would be. I don't think he would do that to me though. I don't know. Maybe I'm foolish. I don't think he would do that.
He's a chess player. He's a chess
Yeah,
player.
he might. I've seen him. He's good at poker. I have seen him in person play poker, and he's good.
Yeah. Um, so who on this list stands out? I got one. I got two actually that I wanted to bring up from last week's performances. Dallas Goddard, in a lot of leagues that I'm in, he's still on the waiver wire.
I
I
would pick
picked
him
him
up.
up
Yeah,
in a few places. I replaced him with some kind of falling. TJ Hawkinson, Juwan Johnson, dropped both of those guys for Dallas Goddard. I was actually kind of surprised that in all these leagues that he was still available, but I think it's because people just camp on their tight ends. Um,
yeah.
anyways, really happy to be able to pick him up in a couple. And then Lad McConkey. Finally got a little production out of Lad in the top group of receivers. Most people haven't, but I think most people have been a bit disappointed. Thought he would kind of perform a little bit better. Now, do you think that that's because Johnson's banged up, or is that going to sustain?
Um, I think it should sustain. Like the Johnston stuff is real, but Ladd still, even with the Johnston breakout, like metrically was still really good through those first couple weeks. He just had some drops, some missed plays that just didn't get realized, but eventually that will even out. And I still think he's a really good receiver. So I do think it just should sustain. That being said, they're in a weird spot with how banged up their offensive line is. Like they came out of the gate this season so pass heavy and they just can't do it anymore because of like the tackles being injured and all that stuff. So they're going to get in some games where they're not able to execute the passing game to what they want to do. But
Gotcha.
he's still good.
Yeah, I agree. I wanted to talk just quickly, funny side story. So we had talked about Olamide Zacchaeus. I picked him up for last week. I needed somebody to go in as that third receiver. So Monday night, I think me and whoever I was battling against were sub 100 points. And I needed him to have two catches, like to get 2 points. And I was just watching him repeatedly drop balls. I was like, dude,
Yeah.
just catch
And
one of them and I will win. And then finally he caught one. But he had the one drop, it would have been a touchdown. I was like, Olamide,
yeah,
what is going on here, dude?
his time is dwindling as Mr. Luther Burden makes his rise. I
Yeah,
think they will be flip flopping roles very soon.
yeah, yeah. I dropped him already. He's gone.
You used him and now
Yeah,
it's done. But no,
yeah,
on a real note though, like he is gonna get like Luther Burden is finally going to ascend. But that is funny.
yeah. 4 receptions, 51 yards. Like,
Yeah, and they both play like similar. Like I think he wants to use them in the slot. So like to start the year, it was like we were betting on Zacchaeus at low lines because we knew he was going to play based off the preseason. But like the idea was always that Burden would overtake him, and usually we see the post bye week rookie bump. We saw that with Burden. Routes went up. He actually did something when they gave him the ball too. So
ah,
dang, I was gonna
ah.
say, I was gonna say if he was available, you need to grab him.
You know what's killing me about this? Our boy Will Ty, Teague or Ty, never. I think it's Ty. Will
Teague
Ty.
Tig. Wow. You know,
I don't know what's going on.
I mean, look, I know we were questioning Will's safety. Like we didn't know if he was okay.
Yeah,
I will say I reached out to him and I
he is.
received a response. He is alive.
Okay, good, good. That's
But
first and foremost.
uh,
Have you
but
asked him what is going on here? Does he even know he's in this league?
I don't know. I don't know. I might need to ask him because look, I love Will. He's a great guy. I would consider him a friend. If he is like, I feel like they're I feel like they're prepping him for a large role within the FSGA as we move into the future here. I don't know if you want to have one of the faces of the organization in this league not setting their lineup, like I don't know. I don't think that sends a good message. So I don't know if we need to talk to Digger or what, but this needs to get to Will one way or the other because I did a wellness check and I did get a response.
Yeah, I think we do need to alert Digger. Send the cops in.
There might need. Is there so what would the discipline be coming from Digger to like a potential, 1-day board member of the FSGA for not setting his lineup in an FSGA league? What would the disciplinary action be?
I certain it would be something very public. Digger loves to get on stage, and it would probably be he would tell a story about you, and he would expose you. Because Digger is such a great storyteller. Like so I'll tell a quickly funniest story. So this is back when I worked in real estate software. Um, Went to this event, and one of my good buddies, he shall remain nameless. Um, he was also working in the industry as a lawyer, and they were really marketing heavily uh, to realtors. And so he sponsored the event, and they had a prize at the end, like a raffle at the end of it. And he kept marketing. He's like, you can go anywhere in the world. This is a trip for two to anywhere in the world. Accommodation for two anywhere in the world. And he just kind of like kept going on and on, really talking up this prize. And so when they did the raffle at the end, they picked an individual who uh, is very proud. Like, this individual got up, put their suit jacket on, did their buttons up, and then strutted up on stage. And my friend said, you've won the prize of accommodation for two anywhere in the world. And then he gave this guy a pup tent, a tent that can sleep two people anywhere in the world. And the look on this guy's face was he was devastated because he thought he was going to like Paris or Rome or Milan. But really he got $100 tent, and he was very embarrassed and very upset. And as the guy was leaving the stage, my friend said, everybody, I want you to know I've made one enemy today, but I've become friends with all of you. And I feel like that's what Digger's punishment would be.
That might be.
He
That
would
might be.
expose Will, and we would all enjoy the story as Digger tells such great stories.
He is. We got to get Digger on here one day.
We
That'd be a
do.
long.
He
That
would
would be.
definitely come on. He would
He
come on for
definitely
sure.
would. Well, the chat would just love Digger, I think.
Oh, they would.
Also, let's talk about in that league that the two teams in first and second there. I mean, we're neighbors when it comes to the conferences and our booths and stuff. I mean, there might be a correlation in play there.
Yeah. Well, and we supply data to Big Guy Fantasy and the Fantasy Football Expo.
Yeah.
So Rolling Insights is a data supplier for the team in first place, and Bob's consistency report.
Yeah, and I had that big win. I never told you that story about me winning that thing at the Fantasy Football Expo.
No, you didn't.
So
do share.
So I don't think I told the chat this either. I'll have to take a picture of it. It's in another room. I'll get it for the next stream that you come on. I'll put it in my room so I can show you.
Yeah.
So my brother, they do the live draft thing. My brother loves fantasy football. He's just getting involved with like the whole like industry side of things and like learning about all that. So he came with me to the live draft that was at the one bar, and he like entered the league. So he drafted a team. So while we were in there, the company that puts on that live draft, they had these raffles for all of these like signed jerseys and all the stuff. My brother loves Drake London. So he put all of his raffle tickets. It's this giant framed Drake London signed jersey. It's
Very
huge.
cool.
So he put all of his raffle tickets in that. And I didn't even enter any of the raffles. I didn't have any raffle tickets. He put all of his in there. They picked all of the raffles there except for the Drake London one. Because it was the biggest prize. They were going to do it at the expo on Sunday. So I'm sitting there, doing our booth and stuff. The expo's winding down on Sunday. I'm ready to leave. I was going around because I didn't get the opportunity because I was by myself. So I was going to everyone's booth before I left. And I walked past their booth and they're like, hey, we need an unbiased person to pick the winner of the raffle. I picked my brother's name out of that
No
raffle. Like,
way.
it was crazy. They were like, I told him, I was like, my brother entered this. So like, if I pick him, don't, you're watching me do it. I wasn't looking.
Yeah,
And somehow I
you got
picked
to
his
give
name.
it to him. Yeah.
Yeah. And I have like a Honda. So it was so big, it wouldn't fit my car to call my uncle. He had to come pick it up in this truck. It was crazy. And now it's like in our game room. I'll put it in my room for the next stream. I'll show it to you, but I can't
I
believe
love
I
it.
picked it out. It was crazy.
I love those stuff, like those stories and those collectibles.
Yeah.
There's a period of time where I was collecting them and selling them on eBay, just for fun, until I realized how difficult it was to ship them and ship them safely. And so
Yeah.
now they're all just in my basement, and I've stopped buying them, and I focus on hockey cards and football cards and baseball
I don't know
cards.
how you would ship some of those things. They're huge.
I
And
got
it's
I
like a
got
lot
one.
of
I got
bubble
a
wrap.
Bobby. It's a lot of bubble wrap. It's expensive. I got one professionally. So I sold this signed Bobby Orr, like when he's scoring photo, and then they had a replica game sheet. It's a big glass, very nice. I'm actually like I really liked it. I was kind of disappointed that it was one of the ones that sold. Essentially, my theory was I'll buy all these and then put them on the wall and then set them for a price. And then if people buy them, that's great. If they don't, they just sit on my wall. And you can't see, obviously I'm not at my regular office, but that like hockey card behind that hockey card sheet behind, like people have been trying to buy that off me, and I was just like, yeah, nah, and, I'm starting to really like them. So anyways, I get it professionally wrapped. I send it to someone in Boston, and she sends a picture back upon arrival. It's completely smashed, and the
Oh,
glass
no.
cut up all of the pictures and signature. So it's completely destroyed. Like, and part of it, I was like, "Oh, this is really strange. Like, is there some racket here? Like, because you can buy this same, like Bobby Orr signed 100 of them."
Mhm.
And I was like, "Is she just like running this like insurance fraud thing?" So she said it broke. I said, "Hey, we can pay for it with insurance." I never heard back from her. But I was really surprised because it was like, I think $900 would have cost her $900 or more. Ain't
Dang.
cheap.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah,
Yeah, I
and
wouldn't wanna
then,
get involved with having to ship those things.
no, not fun, and then I had another one, which was like a, uncut, sheet of Gretzky's cereal box cards, and then I took it, and they were like, "Yeah, we're not gonna do this anymore." So I did literally roll it up and mail it in a tube, so they didn't get the frame. So at least it arrived safely, but,
Yeah.
yeah, UPS was like, "We're not doing this. You need to go to an art dealer if you wanna." So they must have enough people where they were mailing them and getting them smashed that
Yeah,
they said they weren't gonna do it anymore.
interesting.
So congrats though, that's a really cool piece. I love that stuff.
Yeah, it goes good. I'm waiting to win a bunch of money on Drake London so that I can really, like, just be like, "This is why,"
Pump
like
it up.
yeah.
Well, him and Kyle Pitts are two guys that my dad's raving about, and Kyle Pitts has been a lot better this year. Drake London's been a lot better this year. Maybe
Yeah.
it's their time to shine.
Yeah, maybe it was a sign. Maybe that's why I put those Falcons futures in.
Do we want to take a quick gander at the team? I've got some decisions to make.
Yeah, I would love to, let's dive into this here. 2nd
Okay, so
place, man, like, this is serious.
well, let's put it in perspective though.
That's okay. Sometimes you need a little luck on your side, though.
And I feel like I've just been scrapping it out every single week, because I've had CD Lamb injured. Brock Purdy injured.
Yeah, look, to be in second place with
Yeah.
your first round pick being injured for basically what, 4 or 5 weeks at this point? I think 4 weeks.
I think he's like quite literally had 1 week because
Yeah, okay. So
he had two
exactly. So
weeks.
well, basically the whole season. Your number one
Yeah.
pick has been hurt. Like, and you're still hanging on there to the second place. Like that's great. And he's coming back,
Yeah.
if not this week, probably next.
This is my second wide receiver.
Yeah, that I don't know. That one's tough. I don't know if he might just not play for, I don't know, maybe week 10 after the bye week.
I don't know what do you do with him though. You can't get rid of him. Like
Yeah. CeeDee Lamb limited in practice today. Just saw that came through while we're talking about him. So hopefully he comes back this week.
I'm hoping because I've got him in the lineup. And if I'm going to have any chance, because I play Bob this week from Fantasy Football Expo,
Oh
if I'm going
wow,
to have any
battle of the
chance,
top there.
and he's got a squad. He's got a squad. Uh,
So he's gonna
so
have
back up.
Herbert,
Oops.
Achan, Rashad White, Pittman, St. Brown. Yeah, he's got a good team.
I actually found his roster construction really interesting because he kind of just went wide receiver,
Yeah.
and then picked up some straggler running backs.
Yeah, well, I mean, if you like, this is the thesis of having the backup running backs, because when one like Bucky goes down, then you're getting a guaranteed like top 10 guy to start. So, you have to luck into that, but when it works out, your team can look really, really good.
Yeah, yeah.
What
And
receivers are available to pick up would be my question to you.
okay,
Well, you
let's
have
go
James
back.
Cook on bye too. James Cook was a good pick. He has been great.
Yeah. It's funny because for like years when it's Devin Singletary, I was constantly picking up uh the Bills running back. And then he just never performed. And then Singletary left, James Cook came in, and they got rid of all their all-star wide receivers, and bam, James Cook's been great. But people kind of, I think, see him as, Buffalo Bills don't run the ball.
Yeah.
Should
He's
just
been like
refresh
catching more
this.
passes this year too, though, which is good.
Yeah, yeah.
That definitely helps out.
So, I thought I updated this. I guess I didn't. So maybe just a couple of things I'll switch up. So I did uh pick up Parker Washington, and I got rid of Olamide, and
Yep.
then I picked up the Bears defense.
Yep. Home against the Saints.
Yeah. Um, so the big question for me is, okay, if CD can't go,
Hmm.
is it Juju or Parker?
It'd have to be. I don't know if I trust Juju much with Rice back. I'd
That's
probably
what I
have to
was
go
thinking.
Parker Washington. Yeah,
Yeah.
because Juju was like the Rice replacement in terms of like where he would be on the field. So I think he's going to get hindered with Rice being back, obviously.
That's what I was thinking too. Yeah. And then the only other thing I was like, was there anyone, on this list that had a target share that isn't in the, like, is Kendrick Bourne? I'll do this. Yeah, which is the problem in this league. Every single person was
Yeah, that's why I was like, maybe there's some guys we could get ahead of, but I'm not sure.
Humphrey, Lil Jordan, best name in sports.
Yeah, I don't know. Kind of a weird situation because obviously Neighbors was out, and then they were also missing Slayton. So I guess like if Slayton continues to miss time, he might be okay. But when Slayton comes back, probably not, super reliable.
What about our boy?
Yeah, I like Oronde Gadsden. He's basically taken over as the Chargers' top tight end, and he has legitimate like receiving ability. So I do think he is acceptable. In a deep league, I would be fine picking him up.
So I could move Hunter into
Mhm.
CDs.
Yeah, you could double them up. I would probably take Gadsden over like Juju, like for this week if you had to do that.
Drop Juju.
Yeah, I think he's droppable with Rice back, honestly.
I always do that. That's the wrong one.
You also have
Should do.
Zach Ertz. I mean, high total on the game, you know?
He has been great. That's a good point.
Like just getting access to the big total, like, if there's, 4 touchdowns on each side scored, maybe he could catch one. Because at tight end, that's really all you're concerned with. Like,
But he had 10 points plus a touchdown.
yeah, I would be fine rolling him, especially with the total on the game. Should be a shootout. I would be fine. I definitely would trust him over Juju. Yeah,
I'm going
Dewan
to do
could play
that.
Zach. Yeah, that's what I would do.
Okay. All right. We're going Zach.
Imagine he scores like 3 touchdowns. Nate would be so
Oh,
mad.
oh, it'd be
That
great.
would be so funny.
Is that Nate or is that Bob that I'm playing
I
against?
think
I
it's
don't even know.
Nate.
It's Nate. Okay.
Imagine you just have tight end in your flex,
Okay.
just drops
Hey,
in
you know
like,
what? Can we just have a moment of silence for Juju? He was
yep.
just, man.
He did his part, man. An
Oh,
absolute legend.
he is. And remember when Aiden and I talked about ride or die, Juju, ride or die,
Yeah,
and then he didn't ride or
he didn't
die,
ride or die. No. But I
and
had
then
I had Juju ladder first game of the season. It was Chiefs and who'd they play? Like I don't even remember who they played that game. Oh, Chiefs Chargers. It was like the Friday night, week 1. He came through like Juju really set the tone for the season. Can you click receiver right there? Like just out of curiosity.
right here.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean,
It's
it's
not a
not
lot.
good. It's not good.
There's not
The
a lot.
one that Michael didn't you have Michael Wilson at one point?
I had Michael Wilson, and I drafted both of these guys.
So I would just say keep an eye on that because Marv being in the concussion protocol, like he could miss a game. So that would give you a potential for a Michael Wilson or a Greg Dortch. Somebody from Arizona is going to have to catch the ball, assuming Marvin Harrison Jr. misses the game.
Okay, all right. It's
Like
9
that
points.
wouldn't be a long-term thing, but for right now, like for the 1 week that Marv is out, you could consider that.
Problem is, I can't drop anyone. Like I'm
Yeah.
handcuffed here because I'm not getting rid of these guys.
Yeah.
Like, what do you think about Andrews? Like, he had the
Well, I
one
would
huge
say,
game.
yeah, I would say I know Likely is back, but Lamar also is coming back. So yeah, I would just wait. I guess it's fine. It's not like Michael Wilson is like some like it would be a 1 week thing to where you would
Oh,
want
I
to
know,
get
I
any
know.
of
And
those
I'm
people.
just thinking just in general.
Yeah, I mean, there's
You know,
potential to drop one of those tight ends for sure. Like if you want to keep Pitts and then one of the other two, you know,
yeah.
maybe we'll,
Well,
we'll kind of see what
Ertz has
happens
been
next
great.
week. Yeah, he's been good. He's been better than Andrews, like by all accounts.
Well, it's crazy too because he only got 9 more points, but he had that massive 27-point game where I had him sitting on the bench.
Yep.
Okay, I
That's how it
feel
always
pretty
goes.
good about that. We'll see what happens to CD. Hopefully, he can go. If not, then we'll juggle in Travis Hunter. He seems to be picking it up a little bit as well.
Yeah, they're
Uh,
and they got that bye week coming. Week 9 against the Raiders. Yes. It's the Travis Hunter stuff is coming. It might take till after the bye week.
And he got his baptism out of the way.
Yeah,
He
he
was
got
able
he
to
got
explain
baptized.
that thoughtfully.
He got baptized in the stadium. It was a power move right there.
Yeah, yeah. So I think the Lord is on his side now.
He better be. It was Lord knows we need
Um,
it because he ain't done
Also,
anything
just
else.
want to talk about like your hatred for Kyron Williams. Like he continued to
Yes,
be Kyron Williams, and I just loved when he caught that one along the sideline, and he was like essentially parallel to the ground, looking up. Ball landed on his chest, and
that
he
was a
just
great
like let.
catch.
Oh, it's great, and
It's a
I was
great
like, "Ha,
catch.
Ben."
Yeah. Well, I told you, like he's foolproof. Also, we got breaking news here.
Oh yeah.
CeeDee Lamb said he will play Week 7. He won't be on a
Oh,
pitch count. So we're good. You're good to go there. Don't even got to
CeeDee
worry
Lamb's
about it.
in.
He's
Okay,
back, baby.
alrighty, I love it. Any final topics? Last 10 minutes here.
No, oh, we got to do our DFS.
Oh
So,
yeah, let's do that
chat.
real
Steve and
quick.
I are doing a DFS head-to-head cage match. We're gonna do this weekly for the rest of the season. We'll track, who does better. So this will be week 1 of that, and I'm pretty excited. I'll have to send you the link to this, Steve, so you can enter your
Okay,
team.
I already entered one. Do I have to
Yeah, do you
enter
want to?
another one?
Well, I'll give you the link. You'll click it. It'll open it in the app. Then you can just import the team that you've already made
Okay.
into that. Mark asked, should I trade Garrett Wilson and Dak Prescott for Javonte Williams and Trevor Lawrence? I'm 2-4 in a full PPR 2 flex, and you have Fields. You're 2-4. I would say no, Mark, but since you're 2-4, I might do it because Garrett Wilson is going to miss a couple games with this injury. So,
Yeah.
the fact that if you were undefeated, I'd say just stand pat. But if you need to win games, he's not going to help you win any games not playing. So I'd probably run it, to be honest with you.
I was thinking the exact same thing.
Tough to make up ground when your guys are not playing. All right, you want to give out? Do you want to show? Do you know what your
Yeah.
team is?
Yeah.
Okay.
You can, as long as you promise not to copy it.
No, that's not fun. We got to go against each other.
I don't know how to open it up in a better edit.
Yeah, there you go. Let me see here.
It's DraftKings. Like they could use a modernization.
All right, so this is Steve's team here that he's playing against me. He's
So just
got
to give everyone a
go.
quick little tour, we don't need to have this open anymore. So what I built, I haven't shared it yet because I'm still running this experiment, and this is what kind of was is we have a custom data set inside of the data directory. So when you create a data space, it's sitting there. It's the DK salaries, and I just joined the performance data and then did an average DK points divided by dollar. So the idea behind this is to try to get the most efficient per dollar. The interesting thing is it works pretty well, and it's crazy how it almost always ends up like right on the button. Like there's normally only like one player I need to kind of make. I don't need to do too much juggling. I'm able to use most of the dollars. Like in this case, all dollars used. And so far they've been performing pretty well. As those DFS folks know at home, roster construction isn't just picking the best roster, it's about having a bunch of different entries that kind of represent different scenarios, and it's tough to beat some of those folks. But I've been really happy with how it's been pretty good so far. Actually, last week wasn't great. Last week was a cold week, but the other weeks have been pretty good. So per value, Mahomes top of the list. I thought it was interesting that at 83, Bijan was way up there. I was excited to see that because I think that it's pretty fun to cheer for him right now. He's pretty fun to watch. Swifty, the other Swifty, DeAndre, he's been crushing it lately. Odunze,
Yeah.
never say his name. Obviously, another Chicago guy. He's been crushing it. They've been rising. Talked about Metcalf and yards after catch. Plus, he plays Cincy, so picked him up. New Orleans, Cincy, and then Addison. He's coming back and starting to pick up speed. Goddard, we already talked about him. Shaheed was the one that I needed to make a decision on, and then Vikings defense.
Shaheed would correlate a little bit, obviously, with the Bears guys, so not the worst
Yeah,
thing.
yeah,
Okay. All right. I mean, I don't think this is a bad team. I'll drop you this link in our Slack, so you just click it and then import your that team that you made. There should be a button in the bottom left. So then we'll go
will
head
do.
to head and we will review it, obviously, each week. I think this is fun. I'll run a poll later on. We'll see if the chat thinks you can take me down or not.
Yeah, yeah. I look forward to it. And chat, if you have any pointers, help, or even criticism of the strategy. If there's other data points, because now that we have the data in SportWise, we're not limited. We can we
Yeah,
don't have
exactly.
combinatorics mathematics in there, but we can look at different factors that you might think are important data points to make decisions on, like dollars per target or something along those lines.
Yeah, there's definitely some different stuff we could play around with.
Cool.
All right.
I think that's it.
Yeah,
That's all.
go Blue Jays, I guess.
Yep. So I was just going to end on that. It's an important day for everyone. We'll see everyone at 8:33 Eastern, 6:33 Mountain, when Mad
I'm
Max
waiting to
just
do I'm waiting to
rocking.
do a live watch along stream. It would be so fun. If I could get a
Hard at
camera
my
on like
house right
you.
now.
Yeah. Yes. All right. Chat, thank you guys for tuning in. Good luck tonight with the Thursday night game and the baseball games. I will be live tomorrow, 4:00. We'll talk college. I'll see if Caleb wants to jump on because couldn't yesterday. So maybe we'll get Caleb on tomorrow. We'll see. But good luck tonight, and we'll see everybody tomorrow.
See everybody later. See you on Discord.